All right, we are here with Ed Eyestone, coach of BYU, here day before the NCAA Cross Country Championships. As you can see, we're all dressed pretty warmly. It's a little chilly out here. I know you guys were out here in the snow yesterday. There was some snow. So tell me, how are y'all feeling? How's the team feeling?
Well, it's a completely different course than it was yesterday. We were making snowmen over there. We were the first ones and maybe the only ones on the course yesterday running through about 2 inches of snow. And actually, I was hoping that would be the case for tomorrow. But obviously, it's warmed up a little bit. The snow's all gone. I think we're not going to have to worry about the snow. A little windy, and we were actually hoping the worse the conditions, the better we'll do, because we get snow, we get bad weather in Utah. But yeah, I think we're ready to go. I mean, it's been a really good season for us thus far. Obviously, the high point was winning the Big 12. We recognize that Oklahoma State's probably the best, at least on paper, the best team in the country, and for us to upset them at the Big 12 meet was huge for us. This is the first Big 12 championship on the men's side in any sport at BYU, so we were excited about that. But all year long, this has been our biggest goal, to run as well as we can here, and so that's the plan. And we know that between our Big 12 rivals of Oklahoma State and Iowa State, as well as Arkansas and actually New Mexico looked pretty good at the regionals as well. We're going to have our hands full.
So you're familiar with a few of those teams you mentioned through conference and regional. Arkansas, how are you feeling about them, and does your squad know about them?
Yeah, well, we just know that they've got some top flight, international runners that are going to be up there leading the way in that lead pack. And the more you worry about other teams, the less you focus on the process. And so we're just trying to focus on the process, have everybody do their job. You just do your job on race day, and the race will take care of itself. And I think our athletes know what their job is, what they've got to do, how they can best execute their job on this particular course with the hills and the uphill, downhill sections, and yeah, do your job and have a good day.
And how are you guys feeling after regionals? Obviously, that was a week ago. How did everyone bounce back from that?
I think regionals was regionals. Regionals we try to treat like a first round in a track meet. You just advance as easily as you can. We had some subs in. We had some people sit out. And then we had those that did run. We tried to have them run as easily as possible, but still be comfortable. So I think we were able to do that kind of flawlessly. We actually were thinking we would get third. And, sometimes we think third is first in terms of our regionals, and I think we would have been third. But one of the subs that I had in that's not going to be running today just had a really good race and passed like 12 people at the end, and literally moved us from second or third to first place over the last K. And I can't fault him for that, because he knew that was his last race of the year. So it was a good day. But the main day is going to be tomorrow.
There's always a lot of talk about luck and health when you get to the NCAA championship. So luck, you kind of wait for the day to see what happens. But in terms of health of the team, sickness, injury, all that, where are you guys
I think
at?
we've had the normal amount of colds and whatnot, and I think any team that hasn't had one of their top 7 probably with a little bit of a cough or little pain here or there in the last couple of weeks. That's common, and so we just kind of put that in the back of our minds. We rely on the strength that we've accrued and this reservoir of fitness that you develop over the summertime and over the course of the season, and then you just hope that you've peaked them adequately and right, and that all things are firing on all cylinders, and that maybe some of these little aches and pains go away on race morning, and you can deliver.
I think everyone is really excited for this highly anticipated men's team battle. As you mentioned earlier, there's so many just big teams here that have deep squads, yourself included. So what are you telling your guys on the line tomorrow once they're about to go race?
Again, I think it's just enjoy the process, do your job, execute the race plan, and the obvious race plan is to put Klinger up there to battle with and get ahead of as many guys from Oklahoma State and Iowa State as possible to be a contender, to battle for a win, hopefully, and then have my 2 through 7, because they're pretty much interchangeable, just form up in a nice pack and put themselves ahead of as many people from other teams as possible. If they do that, then regardless of the outcome, I think we're going to be happy. We realize that Oklahoma State had an amazing year last year, great team last year, and that they're 2 guys, that they added 2 people. So in theory, they should be unbeatable, but we're not approaching it that way. We're just going to run our own race, and I think things are going to have to break the right way for us to end up on the top of the podium. But if we execute and run our very best race, then I think we will be on the podium and hopefully towards the top of that podium.
You mentioned Casey, and I wanted to ask you about him. The obviously big team battle, but Casey's last go around here as a Cougar,
Yeah.
and you mentioned being up front of some good guys, potentially fighting for a win. How is he looking, and what does he feel like his chances are?
I think he's feeling loose and good and fit, and he missed all of last year with plantar fascia. We got him back running again in January or February maybe of last year, and was able to get in really, really good shape. Was 5th at the Olympic trials in the 10,000 meters. So I think he's been able to continue with that level of fitness and continue to build. But the NCAA is probably at a high in terms of depth. One of the strongest. And we had plenty of international runners back in the day too. Back when I was running BYU, UTEP had 7 men, I believe, who had run sub 28 minutes when sub 28 was actually something, for 10,000, before the day of the Super Shoe. So it's nothing new, but I think just the depth and the number of teams now that have that is amazing. So that the race for number 1, man, is going to be all out, but I think Casey will put himself in that pack, and I think James Corrigan on the right day could sneak up there a little bit as well. So that's kind of what we're hoping for.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. I got to ask before you go. We're talking BYU men. What's your odds on BYU women? How are they feeling?
I think they're doing really, really well. I mean, I think, if Vegas would have their odds probably a little better than ours, quite frankly. And Coach Taylor's done a phenomenal job getting her women ready, and I have no doubt that they're going to come out swinging as well.
Cool. Well, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.